protesting and getting involved with everything as far as these deportation, these migrants, and everything like that. So let me play this video really quickly. Let me see if I got it up, and then I want to go over to K Michelle shortly after that because she appeared on Cam Newton's show. But let me share this video. Man, did I already share it? I'm gonna blame it on Carrie. Here we go.
Carrie?
All right, huh?
I said, dang it, Carrie.
Yeah, I'm blaming it on Carrie. So here's a woman that kind of speaks to it a little bit, and then I want to get y'all thoughts on it. So this is what she had to say.
The tension between the Black and Latino community needs to stop. And we need to be the generation to stop it. Anti-Blackness exists in our community. We know this. Anti-Blackness also exists within the Black community itself. All communities of color struggle with this. And the reason why is what we all have in common. We were all colonized and trained to have a mindset of you versus me for survival. But that ends with us. We need to lead with unity and not division. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to stop pointing the finger in both communities and make the decision that we are going to choose to be united versus divided.
All right, I'm gonna just stop it there because this is like a 2-minute video, but I'm gonna stop it there and I'm gonna frame my question like this. It's a lot of ways that we can slice this, and I'm sure that we're gonna go down a lot of the paths. But do y'all believe that the only reason that some of these people are now asking Black people to help them protest is because they're getting deported? A. And then B, do you believe that there's true animosity towards each other, or that people just naturally move according to whoever it is that they're more in proximity with or they're aligned with? And do you also feel like, and y'all don't have to answer all of these questions, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. Do y'all feel like it's a responsibility of Black people to advocate for people that are being illegally deported, or I'm sorry, that are being deported that are over here illegally inside of the United States of America? I want to get y'all thoughts on that.
Okay, I'll go. So I do think that we do the whole proximity thing, right? So Black people are going to be with Black people until you're like, okay, well, it's Americans against some other country. Then it's okay, Americans against whoever. Then it's like, okay, what's the earth against whoever? We're all going to band together as the earth. So I mean, that's just a natural human thing to band with who you're closest with, right? So I think that that's a thing, but also, I mean, we're just not going to talk about colorism in the Latino community. I mean, all these people are talking about, oh no, I'm not Black, I'm this, I'm that. We have Cubans who are identifying as white to get furthest away from Black as they can. And then, Afro Latinos are being treated like they're not Latinos, but now people with Black skin are supposed to step up. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, being Hispanic, I can definitely speak on it. So in Cuba, you have what is equivalent to Spaniard, which is a white person, right? Then you have mixed Cubans, somebody like me, and then you have Afro Cubans, right? And then you have all those people. Now, again, in Cuba, yeah, you're just Cuban, but at the same time, you have to look at it this way. There's a different cultural mindset, and it's very different from how America works. And then when you look at something like some people like Cubans, America classifies them as white, just like they classify Indians as white. That's what it is. So you can't on that front, you can't kind of blame somebody from taking advantage of a system that's allowing them to do something. The other thing is the adjacent nature that Black people like to do, right? Other groups, just because they have melanated skin, they're not aligned with what you're aligned with. And for some reason in America, Black people will see other groups that have melanated skin and they take advantage of it. And Cubans are no different, right? And a lot of people come here and they take advantage of the civil rights and everything that's already here. And Black people think because they don't view them as white that they're not going to benefit from that. They understand the context because they're outside of America. Only in America do certain things matter, and they use that system. But they definitely, it hasn't been an alliance ever, because I can tell you right now, if I was to go to one of my Cuban relatives, that's just how they think. They don't align with Black people. They don't align at all. But you come here to America, I can get ahead. I can go align with the white people, and I know Black people aren't going to say anything, so I can go get what you get, and you're going to be like, yeah, we're the same, and they'll just be like, okay, cool. You're muted.
My bad. Why is this? I don't know. Maybe y'all can familiarize me. Where did this black and brown thing come from?
I never heard of that until people who were in politics started saying that. Because growing up, I grew up in a Black town that also had Hispanics, Latinos. We had Black and brown, but we were together in the town, but we were still separate. And if you did see a sprinkle of Hispanics, it would usually be Black people and then one or two Hispanics in the mix. It definitely was never a group of Hispanics and one or two Blacks in the mix. So I never heard of the Black and brown thing growing up at all.
Yeah, that's more of a recent thing for me.
Right.
That's why I said I think politicians have created that narrative.
What are your thoughts, Molly? You muted. Oh, I can't hear you. Your audio is out. All right, I'm gonna let you come back with your audio. Slimmy, thoughts?
I don't give a fuck what she talking about.
Who is that girl? Who is she?
She's just a girl that was speaking about it because let me give you the foundation. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of conversations that's happening on social media, and Black people saying, "Listen, man, I'm sleeping, I'm chilling, and I don't necessarily agree with illegal migrants being over here inside of the United States of America." And Mexicans and people that are getting deported are saying, Black people, you need to unite with us, or why, whatever, so on and so forth. So the conversation is kind of based around that. Is, you know what I'm saying? Why are Black and brown people not united against Trump deporting illegal migrants coming, in and out of the country or whatever, so on and so forth. So that's the foundation of where that conversation came from. So that's,
That's the thing.
You guys,
go ahead, Molly.
No, I just wanted to make sure y'all could hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'm not shocked that they're wanting to know where is the support from Black people, because didn't like 92% of Black women and about 80% of Black men
that's true,
vote against Trump and his policies. So I don't blame them for wondering where's the support, because I think that Black people showed that they were in support for the borders being open and illegal immigration through their voting patterns and their voting habits and what they advocated for. So I can't blame them for wondering where's the help.
Well, they are only looking at the liberal ones though, because Latino
Which
community,
is the vast majority of Black people are
right,
liberal.
right. No, I'm talking about the black people are looking at the liberal. I'm sorry, Latinos are looking at the liberal Blacks wondering for help, but the Black people are looking at Latinos as if they didn't understand that most Latinos are conservative. And I think most Black people are conservative. I just don't know why they vote Democrat. But
yeah, I was just about to say that.
But Latinos are all like, they have always been conservative. And so I think the Democratic Party has made it so where a lot of Black people think that Latinos, because they live side by side or close to them, that they all of a sudden have liberal, liberal ideas, liberal ways of living, and it's definitely not. I'm trying to censor myself a little bit because it can get real derogative because the real deal is most Latinos do not like black people. I'm
Most
just gonna say
people
it.
don't
Oh,
like black people.
we
That's why
already
I
know
don't know
that.
why we fight
I
for
was trying not to
everything.
go there, but
No,
Most
you can
most
go there. We know
Latinos
that.
ethnicities don't
Yeah.
like black
You ain't
folks.
saying no secrets.
okay,
We know
and
that.
so and they live side by side because when you come into America, and every immigrant community can attest to it, the grift is the black people.
Hmm. Hmm.
It just is what it is.
Black
Listen,
people won't wake up to that, but I'm
Like
shocked
right
that we're
now.
not really
Go ahead.
putting
I'm
up a
sorry.
fight either. It's not our
no.
fight, but at the same time, through our voting habits, I am shocked that we're not out there on the front lines the way we were advocating for everything Kamala Harris was pushing, and we voted for her.
I mean,
So,
but look, their number one candidate was also a grifter. Okay, a lot of Indians, because they have brown skin, come over here, and they, before affirmative action was gone, they were getting everything for that African Americans could get because all they had to do was say that they're African American. That's the problem with saying everybody is black,
no,
Mm.
black people allow it. We don't gatekeep anything.
right? So if everybody's black, okay, everybody's black when they want to grift, but when it's time to actually build, you're gonna know who's somebody else, and that's the problem.
What was you about to
We
say,
like the
Q?
finesse.
Because I just looked up how many Latinos, Hispanics voted for Trump, and it was 45 to 46 of the Latino vote went to Trump nationwide. But I do get what you're all saying. When it comes to Hispanics, Latinos, even people of different cultures out the country, they pick and choose when to be Hispanic, when to ride for Black people, when to not. So just because this is hitting them harder, now they want the Black people to rally against them. But no, this doesn't really benefit Black people. So I understand why Black people aren't really riding for this. Like, you guys are taking people's jobs here. You guys are getting money that other people should be getting. So why should Black people be for you? Right? So it's just like people pick and choose. And no, they shouldn't. I don't think the people that are Americans should be riding, that are Hispanic should be riding for this shit
Well,
too.
that's the thing. Hispanic people that are here legally, especially like a lot of legal Cubans, right? Because this is something that's happening in a Cuban community. So when Joe Biden was in office, Cuba has a lot of restrictions on allowing people over here. And so when Joe Biden was in office, he allowed just everybody to come over. And so they thought, hey, I can just come over here. I don't have to go through all of this. And a lot of the Cubans that had to, coming over back during the 50s and 60s, they're like, yeah, no, this is not right. So in the Latino community itself, or in the Hispanic community, it's a lot of, well, this is what I voted for because they also come over here and undercut and undermine what we have built as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of conservative Latinos voted for it,
Mhm.
most definitely, and
Exactly.
they don't like illegal immigration either. But the liberals make it seem like all Hispanics are in lockstep with that nonsense.
Yeah.
I have personally never seen any unity between black people and Mexicans or any of that shit anyway. Like, I've never really actually understood why people always say black and brown. I don't, and I understand the whole grift aspect of it, but when have we ever like commingled?
When it
Like,
I feel
comes
like it's
we're more likely to actually, to be honest with you, in my opinion, and I could be wrong about this, and feel free to call me out on it. I think that black people more or less relate to white people more than they do any other culture or community.
Wait,
And
why
I
you
was
say
gonna
that?
say, I
I
think
believe
it's
that
the
black people in
mixed.
America more closely mimic, align, and interact with and integrate with white people than they do any other community that's out that any other racial demographic that's inside of the United States of America.
I think that's wholly dependent on socioeconomic status. I think that, middle class and lower, it doesn't matter who you are, white, Mexican, black, or whatever. It's more unity there than it is when you start to move up the economic chain.
Well, look at it
I
from
would
the
agree
lens
with
of
you. And oh, go ahead.
look at it from the lens of regular everyday people or people that may not be super rich, right? Black people fuck with poor black people fuck with poor white people. At the very least, we fuck with poor white women. I mean, I'm just being real. Like, we don't trip. Like, black people don't mind moving. You don't see black people moving into Mexican neighborhoods. You see black people moving into white neighborhoods. You see white people going into black neighborhoods, and they relabel it. They'll say, "Oh, gentrification." You know, they do all of that shit. We fight back and forth, like, you know what I'm saying, and bad siblings or some shit. But in reality, our mindset, our ideologies, the way that we look at money, how it is that we love America, I honestly believe, if I really just look at it from a bird's eye view, that we are more or less more aligned with white people than we want to admit.
Nah, I disagree.
I agree.
I disagree because and the reason why is like certain things in our cultures, they're nothing alike. And certain things with Latinos, like we do have some similarities. You know what I'm saying? Like in ways
What are
whereas
those?
pardon me.
I said, what are those that are similar?
If you just see some interactions with people, like if you just sit back and watch the interactions between black people and like Puerto Ricans, handshakes, like haircuts, barbershop talk, all that shit is
Mexicans
very
don't like
similar.
blacks though at times. Yeah.
No,
Once they go to
You say what?
you're talking about, you're talking about Latinos and Hispanics that assimilate, right?
Are they
Whether they assimilate,
assimilating?
Not
yes,
necessarily.
Are
Because
they
I mean,
assimilating? Are they
yeah.
really
Let me
assimilating?
let me let me tell you what I mean by
Well,
assimilating.
hold on.
Hold
Wait.
on. Let me tell you what I
Wait.
mean by assimilating.
You gotta let
Meaning,
me
I can
finish.
assimilate to either black culture or I can assimilate to white culture.
No, I don't agree with that because when you look at those barbershops, that's wherever they at over in those Latino countries, they doing the same things and they got those women dancing in those barbershops. That shit looks very much like the barbershops here in America.
But we
So I
talking
don't
about
understand how that's assimilation.
barbershops, though. But the core root. Okay, so similarities as far as, like, you know, how it is that you dance or you get your hair cut. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our core principle of what we truly believe in. Like, for example, if you look at the majority of what black people are talking about with regard to this whole illegal immigration thing, black people think very much just like white people about people coming over here illegally. Even to the point to where black people that were born in America will absolutely 100% tell you, hey man, Africans ain't, these Nigerians, these Jamaicans, they not from here.
Yeah. Oh, I
They
get that.
don't give a fuck that we got the same skin color. They be like, look, man, we American. White people and black people similarly be like, we are American. I don't know what the fuck you got going on over there. And also on top of that, people that's not born in America, if you look at it, the same way that Mexicans or Latinos or whatever, the same way that they look at it and they say, well, you know, we don't really fuck with them like that. Africans do the same thing. They don't fuck with black people that are American.
and that's what I was going to
Oh,
say.
that's not true.
That's why
It's
Americans
very
are,
true, bro.
No.
Bro, they will
No,
not
it's
listen.
true.
They not trying to let their daughter marry
And
you.
some Caribbeans too. It's the same way.
Right.
They not trying to
They
let their
don't
daughter marry
I
you.
don't agree.
And I
No,
think
you
that
cannot
black
agree. I'm
Americans
telling
know
you.
that.
If you go
That's
to
why
okay, if you
The
go to
Africans
But
that
that's why I was
the
gonna
if you go
say
to
Africans
the
the
other day.
that I've
If you
come
go to the
across.
Dominican Republic, they'll tell you
They're not black.
it's a thing called improve the race. Okay, they teach that all over, and it's even in the indigenous Latino communities, right? In Mexico, they do that to the people from the Yucatan, which are like the Mayans and the Chichen Itza and all that, right? They're the darker ones and things like that. They do that as well. They do it in Puerto Rico. They do it in Dominican Republic, definitely, and they do it in Cuba. right? And so when they come here, though, everybody understands the mindset in America, right? Because how everybody else identifies outside of America, when you come to America, everybody goes black or white,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well,
Okay, but we understand that. So again, that's why I was talking about the assimilation, because if I'm a little more on this end, okay, I'll go over there with you. Cardi B acts like she does, and then she goes to Vogue Mexico, and she's the best Latina ever.
Let me
Don't
tell
have
you
well,
no
something,
and
bro.
don't have no
Yeah.
and
All
business
right.
of
So,
Jordan,
what
oh,
of
wait.
what the
So
culture
when
is.
I
Jordan,
when I go to the
let me
Puerto
tell you.
Rican festival, they don't have no problems with no black people being there.